Let's talk about Joao Pedro at Chelsea. Yeah, the Joga Bonito is back at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, you're looking at the guy who just came in from Brighton and all of a sudden is thriving at Chelsea. Yeah, this is just 3 matches, so we don't get carried away. But at the same time, you look at the role this guy is playing at the club, and you're like, this is perfect. This is synchronization. It just comes in and is sinking well. You're looking at the guy from 3 matches, has gotten 2 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League this season. And aside that, the deeper works is you're having a guy who has 2.14 progressive carries. So he's telling you he can, at points in time in the match, he can move the ball from one phase of the pitch to the other phase of the pitch. Like, he has the ability to do that. And his progressive passes they're at a good level, 2.50 progressive passes per 90 and 2.86 shots per 90. Yeah, like, this guy has the ability to shoot shots from outside of the box, from inside of the box, from left, with his left foot, with his right foot. He's telling you, yes, I have the capabilities to do these things. And another surprising one, which I find, like, I know this is surprising to all Chelsea fans, is his aerial ability. This is not something we saw much of at Brighton. It's just a phase that we felt like, okay, this is there in him and he has unlocked it, and that's good for Chelsea. And both goals coming from set pieces is telling you his head is working right. Yeah, he can use his head. It's not just there to just carry him and move around. He can also score goals with it. So now let's look at the tactical view of why this guy is thriving, most especially at the number 10 role. Yeah, because the number 10 role for Joao Pedro showed up after the Cole Palmer injury during the warm-up against West Ham, and it synced in perfectly. So we have seen a glimpse of it at Brighton, that he can play in this position, and like we have always said, he's a modern 9, and as a modern 9 you can also fit into the 10 role. And people, you look at people like De Zerbi, Enzo Maresca, Arteta, Pep Guardiola. These are people with similar, not the same style, but similar style of play, similar structure in the way they want to play. You look at the profile of 9 that they have always used, and you know, okay, they tend to have the macho 9, but at the same time they have the modern kind of 9. So I think I'm not surprised seeing Joao Pedro fitting into that number 10 position at Chelsea. Now let's go deep into it and see why he's thriving in the number 10 role at Chelsea. And the first thing for me is his ability to receive the ball between the lines. Yeah, and we saw that a lot in the West Ham's match. Yeah, because they were playing with a back 5, and because of Liam Delap is the guy who likes to pin the defender up there, who likes to run into these spaces. And because he's running into these spaces, the mind of the defender has to stay alert, like, oh, who is this one running around this place? So they will stay up with him there, and that creates enough space between the defensive line and the midfield line. So that amount of spaces there gives Joao Pedro the time to be able to do exploits in that situation. And because he likes to receive the ball in pockets between the lines, he can do a lot of damage. And I think that's why he's thriving, because you look at his hit map, you look at his touches, he had more touches on the edge of the box, that's like around outside the box spaces, and that's where the pockets are between the defense and the midfield. So that's one of the attributes. And number 2 is he has the eye for goal. Yeah, if he was standing in the number 9 position, we would say it would be easier for him to score because he's very close to the goal post. But you're looking at a guy who, since he has been deployed to the number 10 role, he had 8 shots in 3 matches. But out of these 8 shots, the surprising thing and the beautiful thing about it is he has 6 from outside the box. 6 shots from outside the box, which is something we have lacked in the Chelsea squad. The only person that tends to do that is Cole Palmer, who sometimes tries to take shots from outside the box. But having the inclusion of Joao Pedro just gives you dynamics to it. This is a guy who he does not always take the shot all the time, but when he gets the opportunity to take the shots, is eating it. And out of these 8 shots, he has 3 on target. And we have seen a glimpse of how powerful and how dangerous his shots are in the Club World Cup. You are looking at the match against his former club Fluminense, scoring 2 beautiful shots. Yeah, 2 beautiful shots, one from outside the box and one inside the box, but was still a very powerful shot. So he's telling you, like, I have the ability to be able to take shots, not just inside the box, but from outside the box. And I think these are one of the reasons why he's thriving in that number 10 position, because he has the space. If Liam Delap's pin these people up there is a space between the defensive line and the attacking midfielder of Chelsea, which is in the person of Joao Pedro at this point in time. So he has the ability and the space and time to just hit shots from outside. And another thing is attracting a whole lot of markers these days now. Like, defenders are beginning to double down on him. That is not necessarily good for him, but because he is in the attacking position of the field, and if you look at his passing accuracy, I checked his stats. He has 82% pass accuracy. And that tells you that when he attracts 2 players, that creates space for the wingers to run in, for people like Liam Delap to exploit those spaces. And because his passing accuracy is good, when he's attracting 2 players, he can just drop the pass quickly, and which are things that you see. He has progressive passes, like I said, 2.50 progressive passes per 90. So these are part of the reasons why you see him in that number 10 position, and he's thriving and doing exploits. I think there's going to be problems, but that is not something I want to speak about today. And what is this problem is, when Cole Palmer comes back, he will have to be deployed to the number 9 position again, or somebody will have to sit down, I think, and that we'll have to sacrifice Estevao, which I don't think is something we want to do. But that's not what I want to talk about today, because I believe Enzo Maresca will find a way to go about it, and we can also make videos about that and see possible ways in which they can fit in. So to not run off track, let's go into what more can we see from this guy? We are beginning to see him. He can fit in as a 9. He can fit in as a number 10, who is a player who likes to drop deep, link up play. He's fluid, he's versatile. He can run into space. He can create passes. 2 big chances created. Somebody who is playing as a number 10. And it's beautiful to see, but what more can we expect from him? And from the tactical point of view, I think we are yet to see the best of Joao Pedro. And why do I say this? You are looking at a Chelsea who we have not faced a team who is playing us man to man. And I took my time to do my analysis about that. The team that we see who wants to play us who likes to play Chelsea man to man is Newcastle, and we have not played them yet. And I think in that match is something we want to watch out for. If there are no injuries or no issues with Joao Pedro, we would like to see him in that match and how he plays. And why do I use this match for an example? Because Newcastle likes to play man to man. They will press us and mark everybody out, but because they play 4-4-3-3, and Chelsea, when we build up, we play 3-2-2-3, which is something like 3-4-3. So that gives us 4 players in the middle against their 3. We have overloaded them, and we have an extra man. So to block that kind of a situation, they need to bring somebody into that space to cover that part. So they bring somebody from their center back, which they have 4 against our 3. So they bring their 4. So they bring a balance into it, and they have 4 in the middle and 3 up front. So it's a 3-4-3 against our 3-4-3, which brings a balance in some sense, and that's good for them. But how is it good for us, and how does Joao Pedro exploit in this position? If Joao Pedro is standing as the 9, it gives him the opportunity to be alone with his marker. And because he's a player who likes to come in deep, we just need to create and open a space in the middle phase of the pitch, allow him come in, and people like Tosin or Colwill can drop that line breaking pass. And when he gets it, because it's something we have not seen so much of that in the Chelsea's time. We saw a little bit of it in the West Ham. He's a player who knows how to turn quickly, either into his right hand side or his left hand side, or sometimes if he's not doing that, he can, when he gets the ball, drop it to the guy up front, the attacking midfielder, and collects the second ball. So he has deceived, and because of that, because he's dropping deep and the defender is taking the bait, if he turns quickly or give the first pass and collect the second pass, he has opened up space up front. We can see we saw that with Jackson, but because Jackson's clinical ability is questionable, with Joao Pedro is just an upgrade. So when Joao Pedro does that, you know, like, this guy is clinical. He has not missed any big chances yet in the Chelsea squad. It's just 3 matches. We should not be so grandiose about that, but he's clinical in his ability. So when he opens up that space, drag the defender out wide, he can create space. And another thing is, if the defender is not taking the bait, so he's coming deep, collecting the ball, he can spread the ball. He has option to, when it comes deep into the middle phase of the pitch, because we still have 2 up there and 2 in the wing position. So he has the opportunity to play either to the first attacking or to the second one, or play it up out wide and play it left out wide. So these are still things that we can see from this guy. And another thing which I saw in the Brighton time, or just because of the way Brighton play, and I think there are similarities to it, the way Enzo Maresca plays and the way De Zerbi's Brighton play this, they like to beat the opponents. So they build up slowly, and they allow the opponent to come to press them. So when you come to press them, because we are playing with a positional wingers, they are going to be up there isolated with the fullbacks. So somebody like Sanchez, who will be the extra man when everybody is coming up front, you can send the ball there. And when you send the ball there, because of Joao Pedro's speed and Joao Pedro's clinicality, and he box crashes, we saw that against West Ham and against Fulham, where when our wingers are isolated with their defenders, in person of Estavio and Bassi, takes him on, jump, move into the final third of the pitch, and he's doing a cutback. You are seeing Joao Pedro run into that space at those points in time, and he's going to eat the shot. So when we can create scenarios like this, we are going to like unlock some different levels in this guy. Yeah, so because I believe, because of his fluidity, because of his versatility, because of the way he can use the ball, I think there are still a whole lot of levels to unlock from this guy. So guys, this is just my 2 cents about why this guy is thriving. I spoke about his ability to receive the ball between the lines, his eye for goals from outside the box, and his ability, because of the way he plays, because of his dribbling ability, is attracting 2 markers, which in turn open space for our wingers and our strikers to like get chances to exploit the spaces. So guys, is there anything else that you have seen in this guy that I have not spoken about here that you feel like has been part of the reasons why he has been thriving in this number 10 position for Chelsea? Please put it in the comment section. And what are the other things that you have seen in this guy in Brighton that you feel like when he brings this level to Chelsea will help us unlock some other levels? Please put it in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for always coming here to watch our videos. This is brought to you by Vertical Football Podcast. And you know what you do for us, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done that. So we'll see you some other time. Thank you.